to put him in the lead in the Skoda King of the Mountains. Still a long way to go to the top. It's a long old haul, this 2.2 miles or 3.6 kilometres, and there's no respite. You've got to keep that rhythm going. It's a real test, a test that can sap the strength from you as we look down once again on the peloton. No retirees at the start of today. The full 114 took the start, but as you've heard in our commentary, the field has become slightly depleted through the action today with crashes and abandons, so it is starting to come down. 19 teams then took the start yesterday in Peebles for this 10th anniversary tour. And there's a lot more big World Tour squads keep trying to come to it every year. They know the value of it in preparation for the Worlds, and also to win it as well is, of course, another great achievement.
Just looking at the back of this breakaway, Hugh, and you've got Madrazo of Movistar. He is one of these kind of gifted climbers, goes up these climbs very well. You see the climb in the distance gets steeper and steeper the whole way towards the top of Honister Pass. The first category climb we've had in this year's Tour of Britain. Looking through the rest of the breakaway, Northey, we know 26-year-old New Zealander, very good rider. And De La Place, we showed how strong he was yesterday. Cronshaw, maybe known more for his sprinting ability, the 24-year-olds. Dibben, 19-year-olds, a very good rider. And last year he was 5th in the world at Junior Road Race Championship. So he's in among some great company. And I think riding his home tour with the likes of Mark Cavendish and Bradley Wiggins is a great stepping stone for him, somewhere for him to show, and great to see him in the breakaway. And now we've got the young rider, Irish rider, 23-year-old Downey from An Post, won the first King of the Mountains today up Fangsbrow, and want to do likewise in Honister Pass.
Yeah, you mentioned Dibben. He's got a fantastic future ahead of him. Brilliant track rider, and of course he's one of the British under 23
Just look at the water running down this climb here.
It's just like riding up a stream bed, isn't it? Unbelievable. But back to Dibben, I was just saying he's got a great future ahead of him. He's part of the Great Britain under 23 squad, and they're being guided by Keith Lambert, the tough Yorkshireman. Legs Lambert, they call him. And the most powerful pumpers in the business, just like motorway pillars, and he's a former double road race champion of the country, like yourself, Brian, and he knows all the tricks there is in the trade. A hard man, but a fair man, and he's steering this under-23 squad to great success. He's got Simon Yates in that team, who's just had 2 stage wins in the Tour de l'Avenir, and Yates' twin brother, Adam Yates, who finished 2nd overall. They're all very talented bike riders. And Dibben doing a sterling ride once again today, and of course he can excel on the road and the track.
Yeah, a few riders just at the back of the peloton for Team UK Youth started to struggle. Just noticed one of the riders in the black for Madison Genesis, and that was Ian Bibby, not having a great day today, but the crowd are out, and you know, on a day like today in Cumbria, up Honister Pass, the crowd have really come out and supported the Tour of Britain. And you can just see them at the side of the road all the way up the steeper parts of this climb. As we pan back, we can see the peloton just in the background, 2 minutes and 32 seconds. We see the car park full at the top of this climb. Just goes to show you who's come out to see their heroes in this year's Tour of Britain.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? Now, cycling is such a popular sport in our country. Not only from the competitive point of view, there's just thousands and thousands of cyclists or keep fit people, fanatics have taken it up, and they all like to be seen in their gear and the top bikes, and the sport really is on a crest of a wave. It's risen in popularity thanks to the huge success by the British riders. Now then, one of the riders being detached here from the back of the group.
Well, so we did say that Matt Cronshaw was probably more renowned for his sprinting ability, so he is really struggling on Honister Pass. The riders are riding just tempo. They know there's still a long way to go towards the finish. They want to try and keep it together, but on the steep parts of the climb, you can really only go at your own pace. And unfortunately for IG Cyclists, we're having 2 riders in the breakaway earlier today. One had to put his hand up and get serviced. Cronshaw has now been slightly distanced.
But I mean, really, if he just keeps that window pegged at what is it, about 20 metres, the rest are also struggling to keep the bikes going forward. He'll pick them up on the descent. It is better really to just measure your effort and not overdo it so you lose contact on the next climb. So that is bridgeable. Cronshaw should get back, but it is such a demanding climb. Just look at this. It's all about selecting the right gear, and they're getting incredible support from the crowd at the side here. It's a sea of faces and a cacophony of applause that tries to send them up the climb, Brian.
Yeah, it's great to see, and all colours of their waterproofs as they bear the weather, just like the riders. to watch. But at the front of the peloton is Dan Martin for Garmin Sharp, showing a clean pair of wheels to everybody, as we thought. Put Sky under pressure. We've got a reaction from one of the Movistar riders, but at the front we noticed that Mike Northey is trying to gain maximum points at the top of Honister Pass.
Was that Quintana trying to get across to Martin? Looked a bit too big. I don't think it was him actually, but it's Martin at the front. He's reveling in this terrain. Stage winner in the Tour de France, winner, as I said earlier, in the Liège-Bastogne-Liège. These climbs mean nothing to Dan Martin, the Irishman. He's going well. There's Quintana. It is Quintana. Now then, look at this. The race is beginning to implode here as we're getting nearer to the summit of Honister Pass. And this is a brace of riders with immense talent. It's Martin at the front, the Irishman, and Quintana, the Colombian, and these two have got about a 25-metre advantage now. They love in this. The fact that it's rearing up is giving them the chance now. And the rider from Ampost is falling back. So the rider from Ampost who got the first climb, and that's Sean Downey, that's not the position he wants to be in. He wants to be at the front to get more points. Look at the crowd through the corridor of faces here as they try to keep the points moving to the to get to the summit. It looks like Della Placido's the man at the front of the six, Brian.
Well, 6 riders all in one line. Mike Northey is at the front, and he's trying to take maximum points at the top of Honister Pass. He knows if he does that, he puts himself in a great position to take the Skoda King of the Mountains. And Madrazo is going with him, but a good move by Movistar, putting one rider in the breakaway and trying to send Quintana across there. Really, the bunch are under pressure now. Quintana now comes to the front. Martin trying to stay with him. So the King of the Mountain from the Tour de France is ripping it up Honister Pass.
Well, the leaders are over the top there. We'll confirm who he was that got over the top first. But Quintana absolutely loving it, and the crowd loving it as well. Here he is. Look at the face of concentration. The man that won the Young Rider competition, the King of the Mountains competition, and finished runner-up in the recent Tour de France. Won by Chris Froome. 25%. That's the steepness of the climb. On the left, it's Martin, who looks very good as well. And the peloton behind can see the danger as they're trying to keep these two pegged. They don't want to give them too much of an advantage. There'll be a lot of care on the greasy descent, but look at these two. What a sight to behold on British roads. Two of the greatest bike riders in the world.
Well, the man on the left-hand side, Dan Martin, the Irishman, he lives in Girona. He started the Tour of Spain, crashed out the Tour of Spain, came here to the Tour of Britain, thinking of trying to hone his form for the World Championships. On the attack, that's the man in the blue helmet. On the right, the man has come from a very successful Tour de France. He's been on the deck already in the Lake District earlier on in today's stage. Get back up, get back into the peloton, and is now on the attack in Honister Pass with Dan Martin.
Look at the face on Martin. His dad was a British road race champion as well, Neil Martin, and Dan carrying on the good family tradition. Dan Martin there now looking for the summit, just puffing a little bit there. Quintana tucked neatly into his wheel. Now then, will they get together and start to work? Two very strong teams, Garmin and of course Movistar. Now then, Sky on the back foot, so they're going to have to start to chase them down on the descent. And remember, we go not too happy on greasy descent, so he will have to take up a good position in the peloton as we come to the back of the peloton. And just look at the riders here. Brian, they're struggling to really keep that bike moving forward.
Yeah, zigzag the whole way up this climb. And see the crowd just running over to see their heroes once again. The car park full. Absolutely amazing scenes as we get up to the top of Honister Pass. But over the top in the breakaway, it did look as if it was between Northey and Madrazo for the first 2 places. And if that is the case, then Northey or Madrazo could be put themselves in #1 place with 1 climb to go in that Skoda King of the Mountains competition.
Yep, we'll tidy that up once the result is confirmed. But the crowd certainly out once again to support the Tour of Britain. It's capturing the imagination of all the sporting fans. They've stood here for a long time to get... Oh, Quintana is delayed there. Did he overrun?
No, Quintana, that's from the bunch.
It wasn't Quintana.
One of the Movistar riders is overstretched in the corner. They've already lost Visconti. He will be in hospital after his crash earlier on today. And we've got Madrazo in the breakaway. Now we've got Quintana on the attack, and they've just lost one of the riders on the descent. A very slippy descent. This race is going to be split all over the place.
Yeah, they could limp in bits and pieces to the finishing Kendall. Still a long, long way to go, and a lot more action to come.